This ship could not sink. That is not a figure of speech. Her hull was lined with so much cork that the sea physically could not pull her under, and her captain knew it better than any man alive. In October 1955, she sailed out of a Pacific harbor with 25 people aboard on a routine 2-day run between islands. 5 weeks later, she was found 600 miles away, drifting half-swamped through open ocean, one engine wrapped in a mattress, her radio tuned to the International Distress Channel. And every single person was gone. 16 crew, 9 passengers. Among them a doctor, a government official, and 2 small children. Not one of them was ever seen again. Her name was the Joyita. The newspapers would call her the Mary Celeste of the Pacific. But the Joyita is worse, because the Mary Celeste's crew may have believed their ship was doomed. The people of the Joyita left a ship that could not go down. Before she became a ghost, she was a Hollywood dream. Launched in 1931, the 69-foot luxury yacht was built for director Roland West, who named her Joyita, the Little Jewel, to honor his wife, silent film star Jewel Carmen. In 1941, the United States Navy drafted the wooden vessel into wartime service, transforming her into the patrol craft YP-108. But her true defense against the ocean came later, during a post-war commercial refit. Workers lined her refrigerated holds with 5-inch slabs of cork, sealing 640 cubic feet of buoyancy inside her hull. The ship was now impossible to drown. By 1955, that unsinkable reputation was all Captain Thomas Dusty Miller had left. Operating out of Apia, Western Samoa, the British-born mariner was crippled by debt from a failed fishing venture. The Joyita was deteriorating, her refrigeration system was broken, and her port engine clutch lay disassembled for repairs. Yet when a charter to the Tokelau Islands offered a financial lifeline, Miller did not hesitate. With creditors closing in, he staked everything on his absolute faith in the vessel. He frequently insisted to local traders that the Joyita simply could not sink. At 5 in the morning on October 3, 1955, the Joyita cast off from Apia, Samoa, slipping into the dark waters of the Pacific. She was bound for the Tokelau Islands, a 270-mile voyage expected to take 48 hours. On board were 25 people, 16 crew members and 9 passengers, including a New Zealand government official, a surgeon, and 2 young children. They were scheduled to arrive on October 5th, but she never did. No distress call was ever sent. Back on shore, silence went unnoticed. The destination port maintained no continuous radio watch, leaving her absence unremarked for 2 full days. On October 7th, Western Samoa declared the Joyita overdue. The Royal New Zealand Air Force launched an aerial search across nearly 100,000 square miles of the South Pacific. Patrol planes flew systemic grid patterns over the sea between Apia and the Tokelau. They scanned the waves for life rafts, debris, or oil slicks. They found nothing. Day after day, the water returned only a blank horizon. The search ended without a single trace of the 25 people on board. The silence stretching across the islands was absolute. On November 10th, 5 weeks after the search had been abandoned, the merchant vessel Tuvalu spotted a silhouette drifting in Fijian waters. It was the Joyita, floating nearly 600 miles west of her planned route. She was listing heavily to port, her deck rail drowned beneath the waves, with the dark Pacific swell rolling directly across her superstructure. Barnacles clung to her wooden hull, yet despite being half submerged and heavy with swallowed seawater, she remained stubbornly afloat. The unsinkable ship had survived the ocean, but of the 25 people who had trusted her with their lives, there was no sign. 4 tons of cargo had vanished from the holds, and all 3 life rafts were gone. The logbook, sextant, and chronometer were missing. On deck, a canvas awning was rigged over the deckhouse. Below, a doctor's bag lay open, containing scalpels, needles, and blood-stained bandages. The ship's clocks offered one final frozen detail. Every dial had stopped at exactly 22:22. Yet the switches for the navigation and cabin lights were still flipped to the on position, leaving electrical currents running silently through the empty vessel. Seawater poured through a corroded cooling pipe directly into the bilge, while clogged pumps failed to clear the rising flood. The port engine was already useless, its clutch left disassembled on a workbench before departure. In the dark, rising water, someone frantically jammed a mattress against the machinery to stem the leak. They switched on the radio, tuning it to the international distress frequency. But a break in the aerial wire hidden beneath layers of old paint reduced its range to just 2 miles. The calls for help vanished unheard into the empty Pacific night. If Captain Miller lay incapacitated below, command crumbled. In the blind, suffocating darkness of the listing hull, panic took hold, driving 25 people into the fragile rafts. The Fiji inquiry blamed neglected maintenance and failed equipment, yet officially declared their ultimate fate inexplicable. Whispers of mutiny, piracy, and Pacific curses led nowhere. No trace of the rafts, the doctor, or the 2 children was ever found. Joyita drifted on as a haunted death ship until she was broken up on a beach. They fled into the dark ocean, abandoning the one vessel that could not sink. Subscribe for more unsolved maritime mysteries. The Pacific still guards the fate of those 25 souls. Panic in the dark drove them from the one sanctuary engineered to save them. Subscribe for more mysteries.